Hello, vlog people. Look what I have in my car. It is Paul.
Stuffing my face.
Paul
I'm having the poutine breakfast.
Paul the pickle poutine dude.
Am I allowed to say that?
I guess you can. So yeah, we just finished doing the Harvey's pickle poutine. So thanks to everyone who reached out to me and told me that it actually existed, because I try to follow all these restaurants and stuff, social media, but I follow so many like I'd have to scroll to find some of these things sometimes. So when you guys reach out to me and say, "Hey Ken, this is happening," what's the other thing? People have told me about the Popeyes has all these different wings now. I think they've had wings in the past.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they'd have like ghost pepper wings in the past.
And what's the new one now?
They'd have like 6 flavors or something. So I want to do that.
Don't eat too much then, because
Yeah, sure. Again, I try not to eat all the food.
I'm thinking because I had poutine for
Oh no.
because I had poutine for breakfast. I'll probably do bacon and eggs for dinner.
You're right. That's good. I love doing bacon, eggs for dinner.
Me too. Who doesn't like an all-day breakfast?
Yeah. And Tickle Toad has all day breakfast.
Yes, we do.
So we mentioned this on the other channel, KBD Productions TV channel, that Paul has some exciting news to tell you guys. So take it away, Paul.
What am I saying? Just kidding.
You have like 3
No, I know.
announcements.
So we have in the Toronto Star, we won Best Sports Bar in Toronto.
Fantastic.
And then we're number 3 Best Run Family Business. And then we had a Czech Bar promotion last night. Czech Bar is a beer out of the Czech Republic. It's extremely good.
If you can find it, find it.
We had a promo last night. We were giving away a beer fridge, and so we had people from Czech Bar in, and at the time I knew we were number 1 in Ontario for Czech Bar sales, but they announced that we were number 1 in Canada for Czech Bar sales.
That's amazing. And they had popped that out last night.
Yeah, so it was a surprise. We didn't even know.
Yeah,
which was very cool.
I thought it was amazing that actually I was thinking that you were number 1 in Toronto for a while, and then all of a sudden it was number 1 in Ontario. And then you're like, well, that's great news.
Yeah, it was.
How many bars sell Czech Bar, and the fact that you sell the most, that's how good it is. So I think the story goes, you used to have Stella on tap.
Yeah, because we did an actual video. So the rep Ryan used to work for Moosehead, and we had a good relationship with him. And when he jumped ship, he came in and we had none of their products, and he was talking about this Czech Bar. And at the time, I'm like, I've never even heard of it. Yeah. So he's asking if we had a line free to put it on tap, and he's at the time he was talking about it was smart because he brought in Stella and his Czech Bar, and he said, go head to head with it, like try it out. And he goes, it's actually a lot cheaper, and it's a similar product. And we actually did a video, and that was the first time I even tried it.
Right.
And
was that at your house?
Yeah.
During a cooking review.
We did a cooking review, and then we did the sample head to head with that.
You can't really tell the difference between them.
There was a slight difference, but it was a good beer, like a really good beer.
It's very good beer.
And at that point, we decided to try it out, and you just don't know how a product's going to do, like the area you're in or wherever. There's a lot that goes on with that, and it sells off the charts for us, which is really good.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Like I'd like to go. Every time I go to a bar somewhere, I always just ask them if they have Czech Bar, and a lot of them don't. Or then they're like, "What's that?" And so I have to like find it on the internet, show them a picture of what the can looks like. And I don't think you can get it in bottles. I don't think I've ever seen it in bottles. So you can get it in draft and cans. And it's always the tall can.
Because they have the regular Czech Bar. There's a Czech Bar Dark, which is really good.
So if you like Stella and you want to buy something that's just as good and save some money, try Czech Bar.
And then there was that guy that at the LCBO.
Oh, right, saw you. Recognized Paul.
He freaked me out because I'm in the aisle and I'm picking stuff up, and there wasn't many people in the store, and this guy just at the end of the aisle, he points at me, he goes, "You!" And I just stood there like I'm not stealing any, like what am I doing wrong? And then he came over and he was all happy. He goes, "Oh, I watched your video," and his cart had, I think he had 2 cases of Czech Bar in his cart, and he goes, "I'm drinking this beer because of you, and I love it."
That's
and
awesome.
I just was like, wow, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like that someone had watched the video and then tried the beer and was and just bumped into him. It was kind of, it was really bizarre.
I wonder how well Czech Bar does in the Czech Republic. Like, is it like a Molson Canadian to Canada as Czech Bar is to Czechoslovakia? I don't know. We maybe have to look that up.
I think it's pretty big.
It's pretty big out in there, and I would love to know how many other countries they sell in.
Yeah, it's.
And it would be kind of cool to find out that Paul actually outsells some of the other countries that sell it. That'd be kind of fun to know that information.
Yeah, I guess I could find that out to rep and just get an idea of what like volumes are in that.
So so last night you had your Canadian rep that does your Czech Bar, and then you actually had a person.
You said Canadian rep that does my.
A Canadian person.
Yes.
A Canadian man.
I thought you were talking about Molson Canadian for a second.
And he's your beer rep for Czech Bar. Mm-hmm. Does he do other product too, or just Czech?
Yeah, they've got a list of different. Like,
okay.
A lot of these reps they represent a whole bunch of brands, so
right.
it's part of their portfolio.
Yeah. As soon as Paul put it on top, I don't think I've had a Molson Canadian at the Tickle Toad in a couple of years. Like every time.
One last night.
Not a Tickle Toad.
Afterwards.
You
had the bottle.
A bottle of beer.
And you're saying how different it tasted.
Because Sonia wanted to go home, but Sonia is a very friendly person and says goodbye to a lot of people because she has a good relationship with many people.
Well,
it's the family restaurant.
Yeah, regulars.
Yeah,
like
there's so many regulars that come in there, and they're all friends now, and so it's going to take Sonia a while to say goodbye to everybody. So I had a quick bottle of beer.
I was looking at Ken. I'm like.
Because it was just a bottle of beer, and again, you don't sell bottles of Czech Bar.
And I just finished my second Guinness, the alcohol-free.
Yeah,
that's a new product. It was actually when I first tried it. I'd finished having the True de Diablo, which is a white IPA, which is very strong. I'm trying to think what the alcohol content is. I usually just have one, and but then I was excited about trying the new Guinness, alcohol-free, and. So the first sip I had of it, because I'd gone from like a really powerful beer.
What was that called?
It was True de Diablo. The I'm losing the name. True de Diablo is the brewery. It's the Apocalypso.
Okay.
Is the actual name of the white
but it's
IPA.
Like a Mexican beer or something, or
no? It's brewed in Quebec. It's a white IPA, so it's a mix.
Yeah.
It has won awards on the world stage in the beer world. But I tried the Guinness right after that, and when I first had a sip, it was water. Like it tasted bizarre. But after I finished, I decided I'll have a second one. And when I had the second one, because I was used to drinking, I think it was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And we poured it quickly in a glass to see if we get that traditional cascade of to see how true it was to the Guinness product, where you have that when you're pouring a draft, you get the nice cascade. They have the nitrogen widget in the bottom of the can, so when you open it up, it was more. There's more of a froth when it comes out of the tap and out of the can.
Yeah.
Where the head is very dense and white, or creamy color.
Right, creamy.
And this was more. It had that. It had the proper cascade when it was poured in the glass, but the top was a little bit. Like bubblier, like it wasn't as dense as a regular brewed Guinness. Yeah, but it was still good. Like I enjoyed it.
When we put my flashlight underneath the glass and you could see into it, whereas if you did that with a regular one, it's so dark you can't see anything.
Yeah.
And
it seems like the regular Guinness
sip.
Is more has that more creamy texture in your mouth. Guinness is good.
I got to fly to
Ireland.
Thank you, and go to the Guinness plant and have a Guinness from
and try plant. Murphy's Irish Stout, because it's just as good.
And so you guys sell Guinness and Stout, or
no? We sell the Murphy's Irish Stout.
And no Guinness.
No Guinness.
You used to.
We used to,
yeah.
And then we switched over to the Murphy's.
And they sell that there, so they make that in Ireland as well.
Yep, same. Okay. It's the two big. I think Guinness is better branded. I think it's more it's a bigger recognized brand. And it was interesting because I was excited to try the non-alcohol Guinness, and it was good. It
tasted like Guinness, but we also, I think Matthew nailed it by saying it tasted like the beer froze and then thawed, and it kind of had a little bit of a watered down, almost.
Yeah, not as creamy as the Guinness.
It was like a watered down frozen Guinness. And it tasted more chocolatey.
But if that's what you're drinking,
it had more of a chocolate note, didn't it?
It had chocolate notes to it, yes, and it was, but it had a nice little bitter aftertaste too to it, which was nice. Which I kind of enjoyed. So my first impression was, I'm not sure what I think of this, but when I started the second one, I'm like, actually, I'm enjoying this. This is nice.
It's very cool
to have a stout like that and with no
yeah,
alcohol.
if you're driving and you want.
And then I got pulled over after, and the cop was like, "How many beers did you have?" And I said I had a 6-pack. And
6-pack.
And then I blew in the breathalyzer. He says, "Wow, there's no alcohol in your system." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it was alcohol free." Just kidding.
The cop would be like so mad. He's like, "Why am I making you walk the line? Because you're walking it perfectly."
Just like Johnny Cash, he walked the line.
He walked the line. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us and getting some updates on Paul. And I guess one more update would be your health, like your taste buds, your saliva.
Yeah, saliva's getting better. So
you didn't have to.
If anyone noticed, I didn't touch water, and I'd ordered. But you gotta remember, poutine. There's a lot of gravy, but if I can't eat French fries on their own.
Yeah,
the starch it takes everything out, and I need liquid. There was enough gravy and stuff in there that it was easy to eat. I am producing saliva, not a lot, but enough to have stuff that if it is moist, I don't need. And I actually ordered the water because I'm like, I don't want to be stuck in a panic mode where I feel like I'm going to choke and I need liquid. And
taste buds,
it's pretty good now.
Like you really get savory.
I had a problem with sugar.
Yeah.
Where I couldn't recognize sweet tones, and it was bizarre. Like I think
it actually tasted bad, didn't it? When you have like a chocolate.
I think bitter was the first sort of sense of something, like the sour and bitter. Salt took a while. Salt and sugar, like the two opposite ends, took a long time. Salt came back first because at first I couldn't gauge if something was salty. Like I'd taste it and I'd be like,
I don't know.
I don't know what. I had no idea if something was salty or not. So it could have been over salty, and I wouldn't know. And then same with the sugar. I'd eat like something that was sweet, and I'm like, it was probably the worst thing because if I tried a dessert or something, it tasted terrible because the sweet is what makes it good.
Which is good.
And you take out the main component out of a dessert,
yeah,
and then you're getting flavors of stuff, and you're like, oh, this is terrible.
I kind of wish I hated sweet. Because
he's like,
again, I've cut out. I don't do doubles anymore. I don't add sugar to any of my food. I've cut out all pop in my life. Every once in a while, I'll have like a teaspoon of peanut butter. It's that peanut butter honey mix that I got from the States. That's kind of like my dessert that I have pretty much every night. I'll have like a teaspoon or two, and dark chocolate are the only sugary thing, unless I'm making a video for you guys and it involves like pastries or whatever. That's the only time I eat sugar.
Yeah, so even right now I'm still, even though I can taste it now, I have no craving.
Yeah, that's the best.
Zero cravings for.
If you can get to that part in your life where you have no cravings for sugar, then you're that.
I think
one
it
step
tasted
further.
bad for a couple of years. That in my head it's going to taste bad.
Yeah,
and
I think it's a good place.
And I
to
know
be.
that I've like sample things. I can taste sweet. I have no desire for sugar.
That's
sweet,
good. I think that's a good thing. Yeah.
But I can. It is coming back, and it's hard to say if I'm 100%, but it's up there. Like it's close. I would think.
Well, I'm glad that you're getting better every day, and that's a good thing. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with Paul and I on this little impromptu vlog.
Poutine breakfast.
So I guess I have to drop Paul back off at his house, and then I gotta
get to work.
I gotta go shoot another video.
Ken's gotta get back to work.
And can you put that in the garbage there, buddy? So thanks for hanging out with us, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let us know
in the comments below.
If you want me to do this every once in a while, little updates. Yeah, that's a great idea. And we'll see you in the next vlog. Talk to you guys later.
And remember, when you drive or you're in a moving vehicle, put your seatbelt on.
Put your seatbelt on.
It's a lot safer.
Let's see if this camera works when I tell it to stop recording.